if you're looking for ways to support the show, there's lots of ways that you can do it, and maybe I should actually hit record on my recording software. If you're looking for ways to support the show, there's lots of ways that you can do that. Head on over to runjumpstomp.com/thank you, and you'll see all kinds of links there. One of those links is Audible, where you can get a free book and directly support the show. They've got thousands of books from every possible genre, so make sure that you check out runjumpstomp.com/audible, and you get a free book, which is yours to keep whether or not you stay with the service. Again, that URL is runjumpstomp.com/audible, and there's lots of other ways too over at /thank you as well. There, I think that was better. Like the first time I almost said like the book I was reading, and then like there were people who were going to get upset because I don't agree with their half of whatever argument it was, and then I thought better of it and don't want to do that. I don't want to even discuss it. All right. Well, everybody, this is actually really, really surprising. I think the big story today is, and it was going to be something completely different, but the big story today is Fortnite. And it's because Fortnite, well, actually not Fortnite, but Sony, they mentioned that today, not today, they mentioned it yesterday, I think. But they mentioned that, guess what? They're starting a beta for being able to do crossplay. Not only crossplay, but cross account. So all of those things that we said that, gosh, I was completely floored that this actually happened. I was completely taken surprise because I didn't think it would ever happen. I thought that Sony had dug in and they had already made their decision. All of the things that they were saying felt like they were telegraphing this is never going to happen. And I guess, if you're new to the podcast, or if you don't play Fortnite, or if you don't really follow Nintendo Switch news, then maybe some of this stuff is going to be a surprise to you. But when Fortnite was announced at E3, people were asking, or when Fortnite for Switch was announced at E3, people were trying to log in, myself included. And I already had a Fortnite account. I had purchased Fortnite on the PC, and I had logged into it once on my PS4. And I really didn't play the game very much at that point. And so I had logged into it once on my PS4, and then I was going to play it on the Switch. And when I logged in, or when I went to log in on the Switch, it said, "I'm sorry, you can't do this because this account is linked to a platform that doesn't allow you to play on other systems." And so do a little research, find out that it's Sony is getting in the way of this. Basically, Sony was just saying, nope, you can only play with people on PS4, and if you've ever played your account on the PS4, your account is forever linked to the PS4, and people were really ticked about that, myself included, because it felt like Sony had stolen our accounts. And so, we did a lot of tweeting, a lot of talking about it on this podcast. I've talked about it extensively on the Patreon podcast. All those things together, just like the fact that they were saying, I was fine with them saying no to the crossplay. I don't really care about that nearly as much as other people do. My son cares about that a lot, but I don't care about that as much. What I wanted is I just wanted my account back. And then, Sony came out with like some kind of statement about, we'll look into it, but don't hold your breath, basically. And then it wasn't even that long ago. I think it was less than a month ago. Some high up schmuckety schmuck guy at Sony, I can't remember who, somebody high up at Sony said, right now we think the best way for us to serve our customers is to ensure that they're getting the best experience. And the best experience to play Fortnite is on PS4. That's what they were saying, which doesn't really answer the question that we all were talking about, is we just want our accounts. Just give us our accounts. And so I was basically resigned to the fact that it was never going to happen. And then to see somebody had posted it in the Discord, and I don't remember who, and I'm sorry about that, because yesterday's was just a crazy disaster. Somebody had posted it in the Discord that Sony had changed their mind. They had tweeted out, look, we're going to do it. We're going to go ahead and start crossplay as a beta. I'm not really sure why they're saying beta, because it's not like they can say, well, it didn't work so well, because it's not like we don't know that it's going to work just fine. It works just fine with everybody else. It's going to work just fine with Sony, and I haven't had a chance to sit down and try it. But it's not like they can say, oh, see, we tried and it didn't work, so we're going to go back. They're not going to take it away now that they've given it to us. So I'm not sure why they're going with the beta moniker, but hey, Gmail had beta for like 10 years. So who am I to judge? It's very exciting because now I can play on whatever platform I want, and I can still play with my friends. My son and I can play together because I prefer to play on the Switch. I like the controller better. He prefers to play on the PS4, and anytime I ever wanted to play with him, I would have to go and play on the PS4, which means I don't get to progress my account at all. And I know that there's people out there that don't give a damn about Fortnite, and all of this is unimportant to you. But guess what? This is very important to everybody, whether or not they play Fortnite or not. If you're somebody who plays console games, this is important because you don't want to be locked into a console because it's the one that your friends play. For instance, a lot of my son's friends have Xbox Ones, and he has a PS4, so he hasn't been able to play Fortnite with those people. He's going to be able to once this gets all worked out. I was really, really surprised at this. And there you go. That's what's going on. We've now got crossplay, and I guess this is a tweet from Fortnite. It says here an account merging feature, which is something I was very curious about because I had unlocked some skins on my PS4, but then I unlocked a bunch of skins and stuff on my Nintendo Switch, and I was just going to say, well, my PS4 stuff is gone. I don't care about it. But right here, Fortnite says an account merging feature to combine Battle Royale purchases is coming in November. And then it says enabling unlinking a console from one Fortnite account and relinking it to another Fortnite account coming in a few days. Now, personally, I'm not going to be making any changes at all until they get the merging thing, because I don't want to risk unlinking something and losing the progress that I've made on my Switch only to link it to something else and then have it, I'm not sure what's going on. So I'm just going to hold off and wait. I'm going to keep playing the game exactly the way that I have been playing it. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. If you haven't tried out Fortnite, you absolutely should. And now that we have crossplay, that means that if you play on any system and you prefer to play on that system, we can now play together, which is really, really cool. Speaking of Fortnite, we've got Season 6 started today, I think. Maybe it was yesterday. I don't know. I haven't been able to sit down and play anything. Season 6 started today, and I did watch a couple of videos this morning. The stuff looks really cool. I'm very interested in getting back into the game. That being said, I don't know when I'm going to be able to because I'm so busy. In fact, I'm so busy right now. I got a review code for Valkyrie Chronicles 4, and I haven't even played it at all. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to squeeze some Fortnite time in there, but it'll have to be between recording the podcast and then playing some Valkyrie Chronicles 4 and some Arena of Valor and some, I can't even think of the other games that I've got right now, but I've got so many games to play. It's an embarrassment of riches. It really is. There we go. We save, file, save project. This is SC243. I'm not doing anything Saturday. This is my wife's birthday, man. I'm busy that day. I'm busy. All right. All right. Right there. What's next? Okay. So, along with the NES, not NES, along with Nintendo Switch Online NES games, we also got cloud saves. But before I get to the cloud saves stuff, which is really important, that's the thing that I thought was going to be the top story for today. Before I get to that, I just want to talk really quick about a tournament. This is really like a test tournament. I just want to see if it's going to work the way that I want it to. But I'm going to be doing a test tournament tomorrow. Look at that alliteration. Test tournament tomorrow for the game Balloon Fight. More specifically, the third version of that game, Balloon Trip, or the third mode of that game, Balloon Trip. And that's going to be tomorrow at the regular recording time, which is 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. I know that there's a lot of people that won't be able to participate just because they live in time zones that doesn't work for them. That's going to be the case no matter when I put the tournament. But this is going to be just a trial tournament just to see if it's going to work. And the way that it will work, if you're not already on my friends list, join our Discord at runjumpstomp.com/Discord. And then in the tournament, in the Nerd Nest channel, pinned to the top is my friend code. So you can find that friend code. I'll try and remember to put it in the show notes as well. But you'll definitely find it in the Discord. And then you got to be friends with me on Nintendo Switch Online, because then if you want to participate, you come to twitch.tv/runjumpstomp at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern tomorrow, and I'm going to have people try to play, get as far as they can in Balloon Trip. That's the part where you've got all the the Sparkies, and you got to tap the balloons as you fly across from right to left. That's my favorite mode of the game, really. And then at the end of the stream, whoever, the top three, whoever has the highest score, I'll have those people all go one more time to see who gets the highest score. And then they will be the champion of the Nerd Nest Balloon Trip tournament. Again, this is just a trial run to see how it's going to go. So if it doesn't work out exactly the way we want it to, this is how we're going to work out those kinks and figure things out. Let's move on and talk about cloud saves. This was actually really interesting. I did try and link the original source, and most of the time I link the original source, but IGN kind of gets in the way of me linking original sources. So you can follow a link to get to the original source, but there's a Kotaku article going over the basics of it. And I talked about this on last Saturday's episode, how I had spoken to somebody at Nintendo and I asked them, how long are you going to save our cloud saves for after our subscription ends? And they said, we can't guarantee anything after an extended period of time. And I said, can you define extended period of time? And they said, no, we can't. Well, somebody from Nintendo reached out to IGN and they said, if a Nintendo Switch Online membership expires, users won't be able to access their saved data cloud backups. However, Nintendo will allow users who resubscribe within 180 days to access their previous save data cloud backups. So that's the same that PlayStation does, 180 days. I think Microsoft holds on to your stuff in perpetuity, and their cloud saves are free. So of the three, Microsoft is doing the best job here, but now Nintendo is basically at par with PlayStation for cloud saves. It's still not the perfect solution because you have to pay for saves. I would prefer it much more if I could also just back it up to a USB drive. You know, that would work for me too. But I understand that this is how Nintendo wanted to do it, and I'm glad that it's 6 months. Now, there's people who are like, oh, look at all those people who are whining about their save games getting deleted. I don't think those people were whining. They were pointing out that Nintendo was being vague, and that's just a foolish move. There's really no good side for Nintendo to say, to be vague about the terms of what is essentially a contract. I'm paying you money, and I want to know exactly what I'm getting. And I don't think it's too far out of line for people to ask that. And the idea that Nintendo didn't anticipate that the internet would be mad about this is just foolish. I know that Nintendo did, but why wouldn't they just say it? Like, that's the thing that really bugs me to no end. Why wouldn't Nintendo just say, all right, here's what it's going to be? Even if it's like a week, fine. Then at least we know exactly what we're paying for. But for them to just say, for an indeterminate amount of time, we'll hold on to your stuff, well, that just seems dumb to me. And while I am a big Nintendo fan, I always point out when they do something dumb. There we go. Yeah, it is. It's 6 months, 180 days. Oh my God, TF Wagner, that's great. They were waiting until it was frequently asked. They don't ask, or they don't put something in the FAQ until it's frequently asked. That's awesome. Hello, Sokej. I don't know how to say your name. Samaxi, you are correct. 180 days, 6 months. All right. So I've got a few things that I'm going to add to the lightning round today. The first is that Sakurai has basically said, look, we got a little excited and we've shown off quite a bit of stuff. But in a Famitsu column, he said, we announced Isabelle in the Nintendo Direct. However, it would be a mistake to think that a new character announcements will keep going at this pace until Smash Ultimate releases. We may have been a little trigger happy, so we'll be living modestly from here on out. So that's the wrong button. That doesn't mean that we're not going to be getting any more character reveals for Smash. I think it means that we will see fewer of them. And so let's see, it's September 27th right now, and the game comes out December 3rd. So it's practically October already. So we've got October and November. And I would guess that maybe one, or I would say two more, characters will be revealed. I don't know who it is. Who knows who it is? But I think that just two more is what we will get. One a month. And I don't know if we'll get two more directs, but I think that we'll get at least one more Nintendo Direct before Smash Brothers come out. I don't think it'll be focused on Smash. I think it'll be focused on stuff that we're going to see next year, and then at the end they will do a character reveal. At least, you know, I hope so. I always get excited for Nintendo Direct, so there you go. But that's in the lightning round. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, this is actually a really good idea. For those of you that don't know, there was this guy named Chris Taylor who was terminally ill, and Nintendo brought him a copy of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate so he could play it before he died. That was one of his final wishes. And then he did pass away, unfortunately. And at Dreamcast Guy on Twitter, I don't know if he came up with the idea, but it's a wonderful idea. He posted on Twitter, I would like to petition Nintendo of America to put Chris Taylor in the Smash Ultimate credits under game testers as a final way to honor him. It would mean a lot to all of us fans to see the biggest Smash lover out there immortalized. Just an idea. And man, that is a wonderful idea. What a great selfless thought that Dreamcast Guy had. I think that it's a great idea, and I encourage everybody to tweet. If you have the tweeters, if you have Twitter, get on there, hit at Nintendo America, and tell them to put Chris Taylor in their game as a tester, because that would be just an amazing way to honor somebody who's a big fan of your work. Nintendo already knows about what's going on with Chris Taylor, because they brought they brought the game to him so he could try it out. Pudding in chat says, the first time I look at I'm going to assume you mean the first thing. The first thing I'm going to look at when I open Smash is the credits, and wants to see if the name is there. I think it's a great idea. I think the more people that send a message to Nintendo that's something that they want. It's a very selfless thing. It's not, a lot of times when we tweet at Nintendo, it's because we're mad that they did something wrong. I think that, they'd be less receptive to something like that. For something like this, I think they would be receptive to this. There's no downside for Nintendo to do that. And I think that if they hear from enough of us, that they will do that. Next up in the lightning round, we've got a new world record for Super Mario Brothers. There was a guy doing a speed run. I always love watching these. If you've got 5 minutes to sit down and watch it, make sure you check out the link in the show notes. He's got a final time of 4 minutes 55 seconds, 55.913 seconds. Which is the new world record. And, it's just amazing that after 30 plus years, people are still finding ways to get better at that game. And it's not something that I would ever be able to do, but it's pretty amazing. The last thing that I want to talk about in the lightning round is that there is, I guess, some kind of bug in Undertale that can delete your save data. Good thing we got cloud data, huh? But this is posted by at Undertale on Twitter. They said, quick notice for Switch Undertale owners. There is a bug that can lead to accidental loss of save data if you don't select a user when you start up the game. Now, first off, I don't know how you cannot select a user when you start up the game. The system makes you do it, so I'm not exactly sure how this... Oh, I understand now. I didn't finish reading the tweet. A fix has been submitted, but for now, please make sure you select a user. Don't press B to back out of the screen, and that's the screen that's shown if you're just listening to the podcast. It's the screen where when you select a game, it pops up on the bottom and it has like all the different accounts that are on your Switch, and you have to pick one to go to the next to actually start the game. Well, if you start Undertale by accident and then that pops up and you're like, oh, no, I meant to do something else, and then you hit B, that might erase your data. So you have to be very, very careful when doing that. I think it's very important that you are careful. So yeah, AppDude is confirming in chat. He says, when you launch the game, the screen fades to black and then a user selection screen appears. It is really weird. They have submitted a fix to Nintendo. There's no idea about when that's going to happen, but it is submitted to Nintendo, and now we just have to wait. Oh, I didn't pick any music. Let's see. We'll go with Zircon. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Music for today's episode is Zircon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you want to check out that music, make sure you head on over to runjumpstomp.com/music and click on the link to their stuff and check out their music because they're really, really talented. Big thank you to them. Don't forget that if you want the full show, you can either come and watch live over at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp, or if you can't make it to one of the live shows, that's perfectly fine. Watch the videos afterwards over at youtube.com/runjumpstomp. And if you're looking for ways to support the show, there's a lot of ways that you can do it. Head on over to runjumpstomp.com/thank-you. All of the links there will help me create more content. A big thank you for the support. I also want to take a second and thank everybody who has reviewed the show on Apple Podcasts. That really does help us get more visible to people who are looking for something new to listen to. So every time you go and you review the show, hopefully 5 stars, you really help out. And I'm trying to bring up my my podcast on iTunes right now so I can thank the people who have recently reviewed the show. But we've got Bigby37, PB Macintosh, Phone of Bananas. I love that name. And Big14. You guys are awesome. Thank you for reviewing the show. It really, really does help. And also, I want to thank the people who come here for the live chat. I forgot to start the bot so that you could just ask for your shout out there. So I'm just going to read off everybody who I saw chat. Scrolling up, we've got Kodiak Moonwolf, Link31254, App Dude, Bravd, who was making fun of me, Chris Plays Games, let's see, TF Wagner, scrolling, we've got Sokaji, I don't know how to say that, I'm sorry, Mikey Be Playing, Samoxy, Pudding, Kill the Chickens 23, and I think that's everybody. You guys are great. Thanks for hanging out with me. Stick around. I'm going to find somebody to host here on Twitch. But again, oh, man, I almost forgot. Yesterday, I recorded the latest episode of 78 Degrees. It's my brand new podcast. I've got a very good friend of mine, Richard. We talked about the proper pronunciation of Spider-Man. We talked about urban legends and board games. Make sure that you check out the podcast. Again, you can find that over at runjumpstomp.com/78 degrees. In fact, I'm going to grab a little snippet out of yesterday's episode and drop it in at the end of this episode so you can hear what it looks like and hear what it sounds like, and see if you enjoyed it or not. And if you do, make sure that you subscribe and, of course, review that show as well. I'm out of here. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.